In this video, we are going to learn the basics of adding the data, table, and functions, copy and paste. We already have created this small storage data table. I have added few more rows to it. The first thing we must know is how to move around in this table. If you remember from previous lectures, if you want to go to any particular cell, you can either click the cell with your mouse, or you can use arrow keys on your keyboard to navigate. But if you are in the first row, and you want to go to the end of the table, then you need not press the down keys so many times. You can simply hold the control key of your keyboard and press the down arrow key. See, we are at the end. Similarly, if you want to go to the right end, press Control and right key. To go to the top, Control plus up arrow. So, when we have used data using these keyboard shortcuts, you can easily move to any end of our table. Next, we're going to discuss very important functions of cut, copy and paste. We must have done this in other text programs, but let's see how this happens in Excel. There are two combinations: cut and paste or copy and paste. When we cut and paste data, it is removed from the original position and added at the other place. It is similar to transferring data from one place to another. Let's cut the data in cell C1. To do that, we go to cell C1 and click on Cut option in the Home menu. When you do this, you can see the dotted border around this cell, which means that the content of this cell is ready to be transferred. Now activate cell D1 and click Paste. You can see that the contents of the cell C1 are now transferred to cell D1. There are two other ways of cutting and pasting. One is right-clicking on the cell and selecting the Cut option, and then right-clicking on the destination cell and selecting the Paste option. But the fastest way of cutting and pasting is using keyboard shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts are used to increase work efficiency. The keyboard shortcut for cutting is Ctrl plus X. That is, hold down the Control key, and then press the X alphabet key. When we do this, you can see again that a dotted border comes around the selected cell. Now we can again select the destination cell and paste the contents that we have already cut, using the shortcut for pasting, which is Ctrl plus V. So hold down Control key and press the V alphabet key to transfer the data to the destination in cell. So, in cases where we have to do cut-paste multiple times, using keyboard shortcuts is the best idea. The other combination is copy plus paste. The difference is that copy does not remove data from the original position. It just makes a copy of it. And we can paste this copy wherever we like to. For example, if I want to repeat student name G 5 times, I will just copy it once by selecting the cell and clicking the copy option here in the Home menu. Again, we see that the dotted border comes around this cell. We can now go to all the cells, one by one, and hit the Paste button. This will create 5 copies of the original, and the original will also not be removed. Again, for copy pasting also, there are 2 more ways. Either to right-click and select Copy option on the first cell, and then right-click and paste on the destination cell. Or you can again use shortcuts. Shortcut for copying is Ctrl plus C. And you know that the shortcut for pasting is Ctrl plus V. So now let's copy-paste student, roll number and mark in the blank cells. Okay. So, till now we have moved that copied contents of only one cell. But if you want to move an entire table or some part of this table, how can we do that? We can do that by selecting the entire range of cells that we want to move or copy. To select multiple cells, click on the first cell of the part you want to copy. Hold the click. Drag the mouse till the last cell. And now leave the click. You will see that the entire selecting portion is having a great background. Now if you hit Ctrl plus X, this entire portion will be cut. You can see the dotted border. It also signifies that the contents of this entire part are ready to be moved. Now, click on the part of the sheet where you want to move this data, and press Ctrl V. Their data is transferred. Similarly, for making a duplicate of the entire table, select the entire table. Hit Ctrl C. Go to the new location and hit Ctrl V. Now, as I told you that to increase efficiency, people use shortcuts of cutting, copying and pasting. Similarly, there are shortcuts to help. Select required data from the table quickly. So let's say I'm at the first cell of the table. Now, if I want to select the first row, I can press and hold the Shift key and hit the right arrow once. This will select the adjacent cells only. I can repeat doing it when I select all the cells in this row. Or I can use another shortcut. I'll again go back to the first cell. Now, I will press Ctrl Shift, and now I'll press the arrow key. You know, Ctrl key will take you to the last cell in that direction, and pressing Shift key will select all the cells. So this shortcut Ctrl plus Shift plus direction key will select all the cells in that direction. Now you can see that the entire first row is selected. If I press and hold Shift key and now hit the down arrow, the second row is also selected. If you want to select the entire table, can you guess what you need to do? Yes, just hold the Ctrl key. And now press Shift and down arrow. In this way, we will select the entire table. To move this table, you just need to now press Ctrl X or Ctrl C, and to paste it anywhere else, you need to do Ctrl V. Also note that if you have cut the selected area by mistake, that is, you selected the entire table, and you have hit Ctrl X, but you do not want to cut this part, you do not want to move it to any other location, but you can see that this area is ready to be transferred, because there is a dotted border around it to clear the selection. That is to cancel that cut operation. You just need to press the Escape key, and that will cancel the cut operation. The entire table is still selected, only the cut operation is cancelled. Similarly, when you are copying it, once you copy, the data will be ready for pasting unlimited number of the times. So, if you want to stop pasting, it is a good practice that you press Escape key after you have pasted it in your desired location. Since we have covered a lot of shortcuts in this lecture, there are two very important shortcuts that you must know. These are the shortcuts which helps us undo our mistakes. For example, I select the entire table and mistakenly hit delete. My entire table is gone. If I want to get this table back, we just have to press Ctrl plus Z. This shortcut is for undo whatever operation you have done last. Since we deleted this data in the last operation, when we press Ctrl Z, it undid whatever operation we did last time. And the number of undos you can do is not limited to one. You can do multiple operations. So for example, if I mistakenly renamed this into RN and renamed this cell to N, and I want to undo both of these operations, I'll just press Ctrl Z 2 times. The first time my last operation was rename the cell containing name. That was undone first. Now if I press Ctrl V again, the cell containing rule now will be corrected that cell. But this is the shortcut if you want to undo, using the option on the Excel screen. This is the undo option on the Excel screen. And it is also suggesting that what is the last operation that you did. The last operation we did was pasting the data. And if you want to undo that paste, you can click this icon, and it will undo that place. But if you do this mistakenly, you have to redo it. For that, there is a redo button. Click on it, and that will be done again. The shortcut is Ctrl plus Y. However, redo is a very rarely used feature. But undo is quite often used. So remember the shortcut for undo Ctrl plus Z. Let me give you a quick summary of what all we covered in this lecture. We learned how to do cut, paste and copy-paste. For cutting and pasting, the shortcut was Ctrl-X, and then Ctrl-V. For copy and pasting, the shortcut was Ctrl-C, and then Ctrl-V. We also learned to navigate within a table using just arrow keys or Ctrl+arrow keys. We learned selecting different parts of the table while using Shift+arrow key or Ctrl+Shift+arrow key to select an entire row or entire column. At the last, we also learned how to undo our mistakes, using the Ctrl+Z shortcut. Mistakes